Welcome to this episode of Launch It to Sustainability, where we couldn't be more excited to talk you through our B Corp journey and the fact that we're now officially a certified B Corp. So this is really an exciting milestone for everyone here at ENSO. Aaron, you did a lot of the work on this, so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I know you produced a brilliant vlog all around this as well, which we'll share. But just really, if you wouldn't mind telling the audience, what is B Corp and in your own experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to be chatting about this. The B Corp movement is something that's been close to my heart for a while. I'm originally from the United States. To our listeners, I'm assuming you can figure that out. But the B Corp movement has been popular there for a really long time. It's not as popular yet in Ireland, but it's something that I've always wanted to be a part of, and now we officially are. So the B Corp movement aims to center stakeholders at every point of decision within a business. So these stakeholders are your team members, your customers, the environment, the communities in which you operate. So we're not just looking at our shareholders anymore. We're looking at everyone and everything and every process that is impacted by how we do business. And the goal really is to create a more equitable and regenerative economy. B Lab, which is the organization that stewards the B Corp standards under which we are now certified, they are really aiming to transform the global economy to benefit all people, communities, and not least of all, the planet. So we're looking across boundaries, both geographically, organizationally, and like across the different processes we're working on. It's really exciting. It's something that is kind of a no-brainer for us because we're trying to have that similar impact, and it feels like it all fits together nicely. So really, really great and a very cool movement.
And, as you talked through that, it all makes perfect sense. And that's the way businesses really, should behave. But, why does it matter to a business, and what effect does B Corp and having the certification have?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said briefly before, we really strive to have as much of a positive impact as possible as ENSO. We're doing this by working with individual businesses on their own sustainability strategy, but we're also doing that through our own actions, whether it's employee well-being or working with environmental initiatives, and just doing a lot of continued learning and stakeholder engagement. So really, as a business, you're going to get a lot of value from engaging with B Corp because you're going to do business in a way that's going to make all of your customers, all of your employees, all of your stakeholders really feel like you care. And as simple as that sounds, we've probably all had experiences with businesses where it feels like you're just another number to them, or you're just the amount of money you're going to spend. This is different. You're creating a little bit more of a relationship through this stakeholder engagement, and you're committing to making sure that all stakeholders feel heard and taken care of. And you're committed to positive social and environmental impact in everything you do. We're really taking all of these key aspects of a regenerative and equitable economy and taking it into every piece of what we're doing as a business. With ENSO specifically, I think it was something that we were doing, but it was really nice to have the B Corp framework to put it all into words and to help us understand how to measure that impact. Yeah. Even what that impact actually was. Like, there are some things you look through, whether it's stakeholder engagement and how we use that feedback to develop our platform. That was just something we were doing because it's good for how the platform works, but it's actually a really good business practice. And one thing that B Lab does that I think is great is to become B Corp certified, you're actually required to adopt the B Corp legal amendment. And this is an addition to your Articles of Association, which, Donald, I'd love if you could give us a little more insight on that, because that was your big task throughout this process. It was something that, I had you do because again, your name is on the papers, so this was all you.
Look, you did all of the hard work, and then I had to do this at the end. So it was in theory a simple process, but so in Ireland, you register your company, you go onto the CRO website. So here you're able to actually find out information about your company. That's where your constitution is held. So I actually had to download or create an account for what's called a core, so CORE. So that was something I hadn't done before. So actually, I didn't find that much information on the exact process online. I had to ring up the CRO web office. They did point me in the right direction towards Core. And from there, you had to download what's called a G1 form. Nothing overly complicated. So basically, within that window, you're able to copy and paste the amendments that you're going to do through B Corp. So you literally just copy and paste that in. Then you have to upload a part of your constitution with that and submit. So when I did that first, I actually had uploaded the wrong piece. Again, I think it could have been a little bit clearer from the CRO website, or else I just missed something. But it was a strange one. But again, it was easy enough to resolve. I was back and forth in emails. Amazing. We got the right document uploaded. And
was it simple from the B Corp side? Where did you get the B Corp amendment?
It was.
How did that all work?
Yeah, from the B Corp side, it was fantastic. So literally within that, I think you said it to me, so it's within that.
I was like, I'm asking this question for our listeners, not for me.
No, but within that link, so really, so once we actually went through the main points, had all of our substantiating documents in place, then it was what's next. So then we could talk about the legal amendment. They have a whole web page on that you literally just copy and paste that text. It is that simple. So yeah, look, if you're a business owner or someone who's managing this, it's a relatively easy process. Like takes, apart from them, a couple of stumbling blocks that I just didn't know about, and maybe there wasn't great information online. Reach out to us. We can easily take you through it, and it's done in like 5 minutes. It's not hard at all. So really easy from the B Corp side of things, and from the Irish, from getting it approved, not so bad either once you have the right documents in there.
Yeah, great. And this amendment is such a good addition because it just puts in writing that we're going to walk the walk. We're going to be doing this. This is something we're going to be considering moving forward. So yeah,
and look, it really holds us accountable. Change. It holds us accountable, and if we're bringing on new team members, if we're taking on investment, everybody knows this is what we stand for and this is what we're doing no matter what. So it's really, really important. And I think from both of our point of views, it was just crucial to have this in place. So really, really proud. And like I said, as we build our team and as we grow, the people who's coming on board and working with us, they're going to know, that we've got extremely good intentions and impact is our focus. Erin, when you were speaking earlier, you mentioned around sort of continually improving. And, we talk to our customers about sustainability being a journey. And that journey is always around continuous improvement. So even if you are doing something around, let's say it's energy management, and you've started measurement, it's all then about setting targets and then trying to improve on that, improve on your usage. So how does that all fit into the B Corp framework? If you want to talk maybe a little bit to listeners around continuous improvement, what that means within the B Corp framework, because once you're certified, that's not it done, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, certification is an awesome achievement and something we do want to take the time to celebrate. We don't need to get it and move on. Nope, we want to celebrate this. We want to talk about it. It's something that's very exciting, but it is just the beginning. We are certified with 90.4 points on the B Corp scale from the BIA, or the B Impact Assessment, which I will talk about in a little bit more detail in just a moment. But there are still opportunities for growth. Yes, that score is above the 80-point threshold, but to me, we now know our benchmark. We know our starting point, and we can use the B Corp framework along with the ENSO framework and along with other best practices across the world to just continue to have this positive impact, right? So as promised, the BIA, or the B Impact Assessment, this is the tool within the B Corp framework that I think is going to be the most valuable for us on our continual improvement journey. So to achieve certification, the first step is filling out this BIA, or the B Impact Assessment, and it goes across 5 categories. So governance, environment, community, workers, and customers. So you're really forced to look at every aspect of your business in detail. And I say the word forced, but honestly, it was really a good exercise for us. And as I was going through on our initial certification journey, I noticed a couple of things that I thought would be really great next steps for us. So an example of that is just doing better at measuring social and environmental impact from our actions through key performance indicators or other metrics, whether it's how many people have saved energy by using the ENSO platform and tracking their usage, and looking at new solutions. We can track that. So something I really want to get in place and I'm excited to start doing is a little bit more data heavy. This is all continuous improvement. We did not get every single point you could get on the BIA, and I would love to meet the company that could, because it is so broad, and the whole point is you know where you are, but you're not done. And sustainability is something we're continually learning more about, so I think it would be impossible to be done. Our goal is just to be transparent about the fact that, we're not perfect. There are things to learn. We need to gather more data. We need to have these metrics, and it's something we talk to our customers about a lot as well. And we have some, but there's also always room for growth in so many different areas. But we're going to be transparent, whether it's through this podcast, through our other channels, just chatting about that journey, because we're on it with you all.
Indeed, we absolutely are. And Erin, something, when we started this process as well, you actually completed your B Leader training. Mm-hmm. So that this entire B Corp and B Leader movement within Ireland, it's growing, isn't it? And there's a community building here in Ireland, but there's also an existing community of businesses in the UK, across Europe, in the US. So B Corp it's a global movement, and you might just speak to the importance of being a part of that community and then leveraging those relationships.
Absolutely. I was lucky enough to do a 2-day training with other passionate leaders in this space who wanted to learn about the B Impact Assessment, about B Corp as a movement, how it can make a difference and help businesses. It was incredible. But at that point, we had done the majority of our own BIA. I did, coming back from that workshop, go back through ours now that I had learned so much more. But we're excited to leverage that plus our experience to really help grow the community, but also engage meaningfully with the community that already exists. So that's kind of 2 streams of community engagement we want to move forward with in B Corp. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the existing community first, and then we'll go into growing it briefly after that. So right now in the world, there are over 8,000 B Corps. In Ireland, there are about 45. I think the last number I checked was 43, but I don't think we were included in that. So it's 44 or 45 now. That community is growing, and that doubled pretty recently. And the goal is to have 100 B Corps in Ireland by the end of the year. And there are some great people working at B Lab Ireland, which is our in-country B Lab partner, to spread the movement. And they're also hosting a lot of events for B Corps already. B Corps love talking to other B Corps. They love working with B Corps because we know that we all align on our values and what we're trying to do as a business. We're purpose-driven and passionate about having positive social and environmental impacts and about learning and knowledge sharing. To me, that's one of the most exciting parts about being a new part of this B Corp community, is that there's going to be so many opportunities to engage with people who have been doing this longer, who are starting their journey, all across that spectrum, and to learn from their challenges, how they overcame them. Maybe they have a challenge that's something we've already overcome, and there's going to be a really good dialogue, and there might be things we didn't even think of that could lead to great additions to our business or potential partnerships and collaborations moving forward. So I just think that existing community is something that I'm just really excited to dive right into, both as a B leader and as an employee of a B Corp. So we've got a couple of things there. And then in terms of growing the community, which is also really important to us because we work with so many incredible, passionate, purpose-driven sustainability organizations that I think would be perfect candidates for B Corp. It's not necessarily for everyone because there is a bit of time that goes into getting the certification and there is a cost to being certified, but at the very least, the BIA is a great tool, as we've already talked about a little bit. It's a really great tool for understanding your impact, identifying places to grow. So something I'm really wanting to do is to work as much with our ENSO customers to look into the B Corp movement and see if it's something that they want to get into. And we're also doing some work in making sure our platform can help facilitate that, which I did use our platform to get us through the whole process from kind of a document organization standpoint and as a monitoring platform as well.
Yeah.
So there's 2 sides of this community, and I don't think I could tell you which one I'm more excited to be a part of.
Yeah, and then I think as well there from using the platform, which was really helpful for us, was that communication of it. So even during the process, as you're adding things in and documenting what we're doing, that's all going into the platform and all being reported on our webpage and then also through reporting. So from my point of view, I could even see you were doing a lot of the work in the background, but I could see the progress and being, our page being added to, which was fantastic. We talked about this before as well around some challenges businesses might face. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing around maybe sustainability management within a business. It could be this sort of 10% role where, you have maybe a marketing manager, a sales manager, or an operations manager who's looking after sustainability. And then they're also being asked about B Corp. And time is, the tough point here for businesses, and just getting all of this together. So I'd just like to highlight some of the supports available to businesses.
Yeah, definitely. Just before you jump into the supports really quickly, I think you hit the nail on the head. I was lucky enough that this was more than 10% of my job for the month that I was really dug into the BIA, and then throughout the rest of the process. But if you are the kind of person where this is something you've been asked to do and it feels like it's just another thing thrown on your plate, don't worry about going literally one question at a time. Every question you do is another question checked off. Whether the BIA takes you 2 days or 3 months or longer, it doesn't matter. You're learning about your business. You're getting involved in the organization and the community. Don't stress about it. And also, there's all these great supports, as Donald's about to tell you about.
Yeah, and just on that, even at that, one question at a time, you're making progress all of the time. So you're always, making improvements. So it's so important. And
absolutely.
And again, that's just a big issue around overwhelm in businesses when they look at sustainability. It doesn't all have to be done today. It's about just getting an assessment in place, getting a plan in place, but just making sure continuously improving through that, on your journey. And just to highlight some supports. So Enterprise Ireland, B Corp or B Lab Ireland have teamed up with Enterprise Ireland, and they've got B Corp as one of the areas that you're able to work on through the Enterprise Ireland grants. So there's two in particular. There's one, the Climate Action Voucher, and this is a fully funded voucher where you can work with a dedicated consultant for 2 days. And this can be for getting a carbon action plan in place, a sustainability strategy, but also taking that first look at your B impact assessment, getting your sort of maybe first round done. So it's a really good help. And again, if you are that person managing this, you can have that support. And from us, we work with businesses. Erin is a B leader, and it's just having extra areas you can look at to get additional points that you may not have thought of yourself, and just how to document it all and how to run the process.
Yeah, that documentation piece. One of the big things that when I do these climate action vouchers or in the future now is you will leave with an organizational plan, because that was definitely a tricky part. You're going to have an organizational plan. How are you going to store everything? How are you going to access it when you need it? And how are you going to communicate it internally? And how are you going to communicate with the people that need to grab that information for you? So I just wanted to, underline that, like you said, Donald, because it is a huge piece of it. There's a difference between answering the questions on the B impact assessment and having the documentation.
Yes, exactly. And because I think when you were going through it as well, you went through really quickly. That's okay, we now have to go into depth and make sure that we can back up everything we're saying and get all
hence
those
it
documents.
Actually taking a month.
Yes, and like you said, that was we were putting a lot of time into that, and most people just wouldn't have that amount of time to put towards. And then also there are additional Enterprise Ireland grants if you want to take it further. Just get additional time with consultants really. So there's a whole list, and we're on that list if you wanted to work with us. There's also different B Corp specialists in Ireland. So there is help available. So just my advice would be, if you're an Enterprise Ireland client, jump on or talk to your Enterprise Ireland contact or development advisor, or else if you're a local enterprise client, talk to your local enterprise office, because there's also they have a similar voucher to the Climate Action Voucher, Green for Business, or else the Green Start, maybe it's changed to. So there are supports there as well to get that journey started. So just reach out to your local enterprise office or Enterprise Ireland. There is help available.
Yeah, and if you're not at the point where you're ready to actually apply for that funding or to learn about that funding, just connect with B Lab Ireland. That actually is probably your first step, just to learn a little bit more about what's going on. They actually have on their website written down a bit more of the information that Donald has given you. Important to talk it through, important to understand that those are there. This is not an insurmountable mountain. Yeah, but B Lab Ireland, the people that work there are great. They're really responsive. If you have questions, if you're curious about the community in Ireland, about getting started, about those supports, obviously you can also come talk to us. We love talking about B Corp, but definitely don't forget B Lab Ireland. Follow them on LinkedIn, get on their mailing list. Even if you're not necessarily starting your journey now, they are great people to be in contact with and connected with.
Yeah, and that whole community and that whole infrastructure of knowledge is just growing, you know, and
it's incredible.
just getting better and better. So it's great.
Yeah.
And I think we've covered, unless you have any additional thoughts to throw in there that you may not have covered. But, well, firstly, from my point of view, well done, and thanks for all of your work on this. It really, like you said, we got through that workload quick enough, but we spent a lot of time on it. And yeah, look, thanks for your hard work on this.
Yeah, I kind of just want to finish off with encouraging people to start this process, or at least just take a look at the BIA, because I remember going into it when I was like, okay, maybe we should start looking at this. I was overwhelmed. I was like, this is going to be huge. This is going to take me so long. It's going to be like painful, stressful, all the negative anxieties about how hard this could be. It wasn't really any of those things. Yes, there is a lot of work in it. Yes, you're going to have to spend some time on it. Yes, you're going to have to pull documentation. Yes, there's a lot of steps, and it is a rigorous certification. It has to be, because it has really powerful meaning. But if you take it as a learning opportunity while you do it, and an opportunity, kind of as we did, just to organize our own documentation, a lot of that stuff was in like 6 different places. So now it's in one, which is a kind of side benefit that we were not expecting.
Yeah.
But how I handled that, I just take it literally one question, one section at a time, and you'll get there. It's great. Take a look. Don't be afraid to do it. Reach out to me, reach out to Donal, reach out to B Lab Ireland. We are always, always happy to chat about it. So yeah, my final word of advice is just get started.
Yeah.
Just log on. It's free. The BIA to fill it out is free. I'm going to say that again. It is free to fill it out. There is no commitment to the certification process whatsoever. Nothing like that. And then if you want a little bit more of an in-depth look at the step-by-step from starting the BIA all the way through to receiving confirmation of our certification, check out our YouTube channel. Yeah. I think it's like 11 episodes of a vlog, kind of week by week, where we were, what we were working on, how that all worked, kind of take the curtain back a little bit, because I didn't know 100% what to expect. And again, it's definitely less scary than you think it is.
Yeah, great. And yeah, that would be my advice. Well, check out our YouTube, and that whole vlog is really, really interesting, and just honest feedback. And, you know, you're being very honest on the challenges you're facing throughout the process. And then as you saw it all building up, was brilliant, really, really good to watch.
It just gets exciting.
Yeah, excellent. So look, that closes off this episode. We're, as I said, thoroughly excited to now be ENSO Certified B Corp. Check us out online, and you'll see us hopefully in a list of accredited Certified B Corp suppliers and businesses.
Very excited to continue this journey, and thank you all for listening.